make today's video as spoiler free as it possibly can because I don't want us to dissuade people from picking it up if they're still considering it. Try it for yourself. Maybe you'll like it and be, less picky about things. I think it does still have a fairly high Goodreads score. That's going to be our May buddy read book, Lore of the Wilds by Analeigh Sbrana. Yes, these videos normally go up at the end or the beginning of the next month, but I need my brain to move on from this book so I can, actually focus on something else and get other videos being able to do done. Words. I'm Morgan. If this is your first time here, I hope you enjoy it and we'll check out some of my others. As I said, spoiler free, but if you do want to know my spoilery thoughts, I did a reading vlog. Some of the shots are kind of rough. The lamp and the lighting did not work well for the ending. And yeah, very spoilered though. Very spoilered. Just know that going in. Before we get into the review, I need to do the warning for something that happens towards the end of the book. It does not happen on page, and it doesn't go detail even, but if you are sensitive to any types of assaults against women, of a very specific type of variety, which I don't want to say, then you should probably go in warned that it will be mentioned, but like I said, not in detail and not on page. You just find out about something that happened to several women. Our story follows Laura Alamayu, who is a 21-year-old female, and from the beginning she does seem kind of quick-witted, I think on her feet, industrious maybe. You get the sense. She works at an apothecary shop making soaps and tinctures and the such. She's an orphan and grew up actually in the group home where several children still live because there are accidents. Conditions in the human village are very, very harsh. There's hardly ever enough food or especially enough meat for them to grow up on. Things escalate and you find out about the Fae quite quickly. And then it becomes, as the description stated, which I guess let's just move on into the description and the plot. Because I can't say the next parts about lore without actually talking about the plot. So in the description, on the flap of the book, it talks about the village is trapped in a forested prison, and Lore knows that escape is futile, as the scars are testament to her past failures. But when her village is threatened, Lore makes a desperate deal with the Fae Lord. So they have an earth shake, and the Fae Lord comes. The Fae, though, come in looking for the person who runs the apothecary, Lore's aunt. But she says she's gone, but she can help and, do the thing. And so she is taken out of the human village through the forest to where the Aletharians' Fae palace is. I think it's their winter palace that is right there by, summer palace. That is there at the edge of the forest and meets with the Fae Lord and makes a deal to work in the library to find something specific because the library is bespelled. Things quickly escalate from there though, and you learn that Lore has no survival instincts at all. In this fantasy world, there are different kinds of creatures. We are told early on that humans are not originally from this world, but it is the world of Fae, of dryads, of mer people, I even think. And sirens are mentioned, and all of these creatures possess magic, but the humans do not. And the humans are also segregated into their village. Of the Fae, you have two different types. You have dark and light Fae, and the dark Fae look down on the light Fae, it seems, even though it seems like most of the light Fae are also in a different court. But of the dark Fae, there are also two different kinds. There are winged Fae, which all the nobles are winged, and the ground Fae, those without wings pretty much. And all the Fae also seem to have different characteristics and traits. Besides wings, some of them will have horns, some of them won't. Lots of differences. Also, there's ogres or orcs mentioned of some sort. There's just lots of different types, and they're all kind of prejudiced against everyone, and especially against humans. And the winged Fae are the nobles. And they all can possess a form of magic. That's all I can tell you about it, because the magic is not discussed. We don't know how it works. We don't even know all the different kinds. We don't know. It's just there. They all have it. That is the depth of the magic discussed. I'm not sure how to describe the pacing of this book. Is it fast if we keep jumping forward through time without much happening? Maybe? Yes, that's what's happened. We'll spend some time at a place, and then we just jump forward, which there does not have to be like traveling. Okay, I get you're moving from one place to another. It's cool that you don't want to write how they do stuff on the road. That's perfectly fine. But then when we are at a place, we jump, and we jump, and we did it. It made it feel less connected to a lot of things. This also leads to how things get resolved, like the conflicts. There will be a few that pop up, and they're fixed, and they're fixed, and they're fixed. The longest thing that it took was like her healing process, where the majority of it, though, happened within the same chapter that the issue that happened at. And it just, the slight healing that I say it took time, but it said it took time. I didn't really see it. And then they were working together over weeks. Again, it just said it. Time jumped forward a lot in this book. Like a lot, without much happening. Which will lead me to the romance, where it says it's a book about books, a love triangle that will keep you guessing. For one part of the book, I was convinced that it wasn't a love triangle, and I misinterpreted the picture on the front, and I forgot about that little part at the bottom of the description. Lauren Asher, I could see it. It built that, okay? They did have good interactions, where they learned to trust each other, where they, had to... I could see it. The other part, I felt there was no chemistry there at all. No chemistry. And it just, the time skipping didn't help with that. It did not help at all. And then, the one slightly spicy scene, it really kind of just made me feel icky afterwards. And I can't put my finger exactly on why. So we move on from that. All of the romance was just kind of weird for this romantasy book. The end of the book, it just didn't work for me. I get it, it's going to be a duology, and we had to set stuff up, kind of. But not that way. There are way better ways to go about that. Saturday morning cartoon villain is all I gotta say. The monologuing, which I get, monologuing stuff happens in other books, right? Sure, yeah, but that is all I could think of. The camera overheated, which makes me think that my spoiler-free review that I thought would be super short because it had to be spoiler-free, I said too much. Now I'm afraid I have to refilm this because I said too much, and editing it down will make it stupid. Overall, the book somehow managed to get 3 stars from the spreadsheet. I will not be reading the second one in this duology, though. I'm open to the possibility of still reading something else from the author, because she wrote nice. It's just the execution was not done well for me. If this still sounded like an interesting enough book for you, and you know that you're not getting the magical library much, and through the story, or much magic that's explained, or if you've read it, I would really like to know your thoughts. If you have read it, how it went for you. If you disagree with me, that's fine too. Just let me know what you disagree with me on in the bottom comments. I need to go. I hope you're having an awesome day, finding something great to read. You'll subscribe if you did like this, and check out some of my other stuff. And there's the ranting review vlog if you're interested.